Good evening. Welcome to Communication Corner. I'm your host, Gail Lewis. And tonight we're going to talk about something very topical. Did you know that the #1 killer of American women between the ages of 45 and 64 is breast cancer? You would think that we would be more aware in 2014 of the silent killer that breast cancer can be. But apparently, if you look at all of the statistics, we are not. And someone who's on the forefront of the breast cancer fight is joining me here today on Communication Corner. And she is Elsy Mecklembourg Guibert. Hi, Elsy.
Hi, Gail, and thank you so much for inviting me again. It looks like this is my second home here, QPTV station.
I love having you on, Elsy, because you are just a wealth of information, of course, about breast cancer, of course, about breast health and communication, of course, about you are Haitian and about Haiti and the history of Haiti. So I just love having you on because I just love having a conversation with you.
Thank you. I know I've been here for different purposes, for history, politics, and most importantly for the health arena, because I'm a public health specialist and I'm involved. I'm very exposed to breast cancer. For the past 17 years, we've been targeting women, especially immigrant women who are at risk of breast cancer. All women are at risk of cancer because the #1 reason is they are women, and there are subsequent reasons why they are also at risk of being diagnosed with cancer someday. So we are very lucky to be able to identify this group and to work to outreach this group and to work with them and provide them with the information that's so necessary. And unfortunately, there is resistance among a lot of immigrant women. And we have noticed that, and we're trying our best to entice them, to encourage them to have their first mammogram, what they call the baseline mammogram, and to continuously encourage them to go every year for their annual screening.
Okay, well, let's take a few steps back for people who may not have seen you on Communication Corner before. I don't know how they could have missed you, but if somebody did, you are the founder of EMG Health Communications. And what is the purpose of that organization?
We have been, started back in 1997. We founded the organization, my coworker and myself, and to promote health, health in women, specifically in women population. So we have started with the educational program. We developed a lot of educational program at the early onset of the 2000s, targeting the immigrant community, the Haitian, the Caribbean women. And although the family and men, youth also are involved, we have different programs, as I said. First and foremost, the breast cancer prevention program, with a lot of its components, counseling, referrals, and follow-up. Because nowadays we have that great innovation that they call patient navigator. And just by encouraging women to go for a mammogram, and then they have the mammogram, and then what next? If they get a unfortunate diagnosis, and they can get scared, they can be fearful, they cannot.
The blinders can immediately go up. If you don't think about it, it might go away.
And also they might not find the support necessary for them to take the next steps.
And so what do you do to get involved
so
with women?
we work with them, we follow up, we give them calls, we gather, we have mini conferences during the year, and to just find out where they're at, and if they are following up with their regimens, if they are going for their screening, and what they have found out. And so this is basically, in a nutshell, what the program, the breast cancer program, is all about. And we also have the other programs with the parent training program. Again, we're also instilling the principles of prevention, of health promotion in that program as well.
So two questions. First, you said that you target minority and immigrant populations. Caribbean populations, Haitian populations, etc. Why those populations?
Because we found that those people are reluctant. They do not have the culture of health per se. When you're looking at Haitian women in the mainland, they are not really exposed to the regular basic checkup, the annual checkup, because of so many other variables in the country. They are not, it's not that they're not interested, but they do not see that as a prerogative. So
it's not a priority because they don't recognize maybe why it should be a priority.
So upon changing setting, the environment. They are now exposed to more information. Listening to the social media is doing a wonderful job as well. They hear the messages. Although there may be some lack of understanding, so this is when we come in as a grassroots organization, a voluntary grassroots organization, to help them understand the importance of the messages. So that's the basic functions that we do.
And that's why the Caribbean and the immigrant populations.
Right. They are mostly open, and then we also work with the leaders, the faith-based leaders that can help us disseminate the messages. So we're looking to identify the leaders of the community, the one that have the influence also over the community, because basically some of them may be very, very resisting, and we call them, they want to change, they really want a change in their life, a change in their behavior, but they don't know how. So they are contemplating to change their behavior, but they don't know how.
Don't know the next step. So you just kind of guide them to the next step.
Absolutely. This is what we do.
Wow.
This is what we do.
So you identify faith-based organizations in communities, especially in communities with women of color, and then you go in there and you organize workshops, or
we have certain interventions. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, we had an intervention, a program with the faith-based leaders of Brooklyn, where we brought the information on HIV and AIDS, on family health, and again on breast cancer, because even though the majority of the attendees were male pastors, but they're married, they have children, and they have a large congregation of worshipers. So they can help us do the work, disseminate the work. So that's why it's so important to work with the shareholders, to work also with politicians that can help us, that can incite people to come to us and to call us to get the information.
Yeah, I mean, in their communities, these are people that we lay people would listen to. You know, if they said, or if they encouraged us to go and get an exam or something, these are people in the community that you might be more apt to listen to.
They would listen more to the leaders, to the community leaders, than to their own doctors. If they are able to see a doctor, there could be a whole host of reasons why they will not go and see a physician, because they don't believe in that. They're doing their own remedies, and then for other practical reasons, for lack of insurance, because they don't speak the language. So if they can identify with a community leader in their own neighborhood, in their own town, that makes the work easier. So what we have to do now is to educate that leader, to kind of grab the leader and ensure that he gets the work. He gets to understand the principles of our work, the basis of our work.
Disseminate and help people, guide people to where they
Correct.
need to be.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
You also mentioned parent workshops. What are they, and how do you put them on?
So we work also with families, mothers, fathers, and young adolescents, to teach them the basics of family principles, how to raise children in mainstream America, because a lot of them are not totally familiar with the do's and the don'ts.
So is that discipline? What exactly is that?
It's a whole host of topics that we discuss. It can do with anger management. It can do with negotiating skills, how to talk to children, and disciplining children as well.
Right.
And the right way to discipline children. And basically, we can talk also about health issues. The young kids that are growing up, the young ladies that are growing up, and how to talk to them, the way to address certain sexual topics with them. So we provide them with this information, as well. So we have those groups inside.
It's funny that when you go to purchase a dog or adopt a dog, they give you all of this information, and it seems like when you have a child, they give you information, but then it just kind of stops. Yeah, it seems like you're just kind of filling that gap.
We're filling that gap, and we're also following up with the participants, with the program participants. They are able to call us. They are able to call on us to give workshops. If they congregate in certain areas, we can go and meet with them,
and
we
distribute
the exactly, and then also the information in writing, and culturally sensitive. We also develop. In the past, we have developed some pamphlets in Creole and in English, in French as well, so we can distribute. And even if we, basically those communities are all orally based,
Yes,
so
yes.
they rather listen than read.
Right.
Or write. So what we will do, we will follow up what we have developed and then give them the learning principles the way that we see it fit for them.
Right. So maybe a pamphlet and a presentation if they're more orally
They
based.
go parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they go
that's a great
parallel.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So then if you go home, you can always review the information that you've already learned.
Right, and if there's any
something
questions,
written.
we're open. As they can call us, and then we can certainly provide them with more insights after they've read, if they can read the pamphlets.
Yeah. And I know that every year, EMG Health Communications, which is your not-for-profit, you have an annual symposium every October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness
That is
Month.
right.
And you guys do it in style. So what's happening this year on October 26th?
Well, it's coming soon. It's about 2 months away. And we're going to have our 14th annual, I mean, in addition to all of the program components, the referrals, the counseling, the walking through the navigation, we also put together every year a conference for women and men as well, because women are always like to be accompanied by their mate, their significant other.
Right.
So we're going to have this year our 14th annual Women's Health Lecture. It used to be called the Breast Cancer Conference.
Right.
But we kind of broaden it because we're going to be talking also, we're going to include the ovarian cancer, which is also another health woman topics, and the cervical cancer as well. So it's kind of being broadened up. So we called it now the Women's Health Lecture.
Okay.
And for the month of breast cancer. In October. So this is year, we're going to have that on the 26th of October.
Sunday, the
On a
26th
Sunday.
of October.
So I guess people will already be going to all of their walks at Johns Beach and
Yes,
Brooklyn in
That's
the
right.
city.
All of the breast cancer walks that happen in the month of October.
They start very early.
Yes.
We can even see at the end of September,
Yes.
people start gearing up already. So this year, we want to make sure that everybody will participate. This is a call, a general call for all the women in the city and in the surrounding places to come and attend. We have places for everybody. It's going to be in English. And our very best director, who could not be here today, but I'm sure that you're going to be inviting him for scientific statements. He
Yes.
can certainly
And that's
discuss that with you. Dr. Louis August.
And he's co-founder or?
He's one of the board
Co-director?
members, the director of the program.
Right.
He has taken over the program. So he will be coming with his team. And
This is to the lecture
for the
on
lecture.
October 26th.
Interestingly, he has 3 women
Oh, I love it.
lecturers.
3 MDs, 3
3
doctors.
MDs who are very, very, field expert.
Right.
Who have lectured on the breast cancer topics.
So
And
Dr. Auguste, he's an oncologist,
he's an oncologist.
and then he has his 3 other
3
doctors.
other, these teammates will be 3 other women physicians.
Right.
And one of them has presented for us for the past 2 years. So they are very, very knowledgeable. And if they go a little bit too sophisticated, sophisticated way, we kind of bring them back to the basics, because we have a lot, I can tell you the characteristic of our audience. They are mainly survivors, breast cancer survivors.
And their support group, their family, their husbands,
Exactly,
their
newly
wives.
diagnosed women, and even women from overseas. They happen to be here in New York during the month of October, and they decide to come and join the group.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's on Sunday, October 26th. And I know that you also have a special guest.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is the main.
This is the 14th
This is the main
annual,
dish.
So you've got a big
Right.
special guest this
We've
year.
been having a lot of special guests. We will not undermine their presence at the conference. Last year, you were also part of it. We had, unfortunately, Dr.
Mary Daniel?
Mary Daniel, who
Yes.
is a survivor of the Boston bomb attack.
Yes.
And she traveled all the way from Boston to be with us. And
Here
a
in New
young
York, yeah.
physician who lost a leg during the attack. And prior to that, we've had a lot of interesting and very prestigious guests. But
Yes.
this year, we're going to have a very important person again.
Okay. And I don't know if you've had someone from this genre of person as your special guest at the women's summits before. Have you had someone from stage and screen before?
It's been 14 years now.
So
The
maybe you
memory
have.
is not
I know,
that
maybe you
clear.
have. Well, we can't say that you haven't, but
Yeah.
she's special. She's a performer.
She's a performer, an actress, and a singer.
Yes.
Who a lot of people have known for the past 40 years, although this was not my time. But I enjoyed her, and I happened to have seen her. I've been introduced to her early this year in
Right.
February doing a function at Health First, who is also a backbone. We have to see some nice word for Health First. They've been wonderful.
They also help sponsor your breast
Exactly,
cancer. Well,
exactly.
Your lecture on women's health. Right.
Exactly. And this is where I met Melba Moore. So Melba Moore is going to be our special guest, our motivational speaker, and she will be receiving the 8th annual award under the name of Castagnol, Janine Castagnol.
Right.
Janine Castagnol is a woman who fought breast cancer in her 80s.
In her
In her 80s.
Wow.
In a very dignified way, in a very intellectual way. She gathered her books. She knew she had breast cancer. So she kind of started educating herself
Right.
and on the subject. And so we have an award. We created an award under her name. Unfortunately, she passed. And so this is going to be the 8th year where we are giving an award under her name. And Miss Moore, Melba Moore, will be receiving the award.
Wow.
And best of all, she will be singing. She will
How
be performing
exciting.
for us. She will be singing a song. And I
Right.
guess the one that is most popular that everybody knows is Lean on Me.
Okay.
So she will.
Yes.
So this is a really well targeted. I mean, this is an audience that needs support, that needs a helping hand. So the song is really well fit.
Yes, absolutely.
To reach out to women. Lean on me, lean on everybody. I mean, we need to reach out to one another during that journey with cancer.
And I think that people think about this Sunday afternoon type of brunch as just a kind of a social function, but it really is a lecture by doctors. Of course, Melba Moore, Ms. Moore is going to perform, but it's also about education, and that's
Right.
really what your
This
organization
is the
is all
essence
about.
of the gathering. This is education. I mean, we really want to ensure that women can ask questions. I mean, they're going to be seeing and this is what usually happens. I mean, they are so comfortable. They ask questions, and they linger around to speak individually with the physicians. And sometimes the doctors are very busy. When you go to see them in the office, they
Right.
don't have time for you because they have about 20 more patients waiting
Yeah.
for them. So this is the time for you to get social. And you meet also other women. You can certainly network and find out how everybody is doing. Because I would say 90% of the women that are coming at our annual event have been exposed one way or the other. They are familiar with cancer, and they're comfortable now talking about it.
Wow.
We don't have a problem, because before it used to be, it's a word that should not be mentioned.
Right.
There was a lot of fear associated with that, but people are open now. They're looking forward. They are literally looking forward for this yearly gathering among sisters and brothers.
Yes. And I think you kind of pull that shroud off of especially breast cancer. Breasts aren't something that we talk about in society, except maybe in pornography, but in regular everyday conversation, we don't generally talk about breasts and breast health. And I think that one great part of your lecture series that you're doing on the 26th of October is that you kind of like unshroud or take the bra off. You make it okay to talk about disease in general, breast cancer specifically, survival of cancer in general. Yes?
Right. I agree with you entirely that in the past it was a kind of a shun topic, a very taboo topic.
Yes.
Nobody will dare talk about it, not even in the personal arena at home. It was it was not to be discussed. And I am the daughter of a 44-year-old survivor. My mother is
Wow.
still alive with the diagnosis 44 years ago.
Now, 44 years ago, Elsy, I mean, that was a death sentence, really.
It
Yeah.
was. Even the doctor that operated on her already passed, and she's still kicking.
Wow.
But it's just to let you know that it was a time that a lot of information was not out there. We
Yes.
did not understand. So that could have been one of the reasons why people did not talk about it, were not open about it. And in addition to the fact that breast is associated with femininity, with beauty.
Yes.
I mean, you would not want to go out in front of a camera and say, okay, I'm breastless.
Yes, yes.
Or I'm just have one breast. So it was something that was hidden. But over the years, especially in my own experience, I noticed that people are really open up. They are opening up. You know, with the advance of new technology, with the hope that people will survive longer, and with the aid also of the media, because everybody is kind of a collective endeavor. We cannot even let the doctors only and the hospital. I mean, you hear the word cancer, you see death.
Right.
But it can be done a different way. There are so many different ideas that come in to promote prevention, to promote
Yes,
also education and even treatment. We have support group, we have counseling group that can help you out, that can help you during that journey. So people have a different idea now, a different perspective about cancer. They don't see it, in my own experience that is, the people that I'm serving and that EMG Health is serving, we see it a little bit more adaptable, more malleable to talk about.
It's not just a death sentence as what might have been 10 or 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's a common word in our vocabulary now, cancer.
And also something else that I like about what you're doing on October 26th is years prior, you were really focusing on breast health and breast awareness, breast cancer awareness, and now you've really opened it up to ovarian cancer, other cancers, other diseases. Ovarian cancer, another major killer of American women.
And this is what they call a silent killer.
Yes.
Just like high blood pressure, you don't notice any symptoms until it's really advanced. This is an advanced at an advanced stage. So we really want to brush on certain certain principles that women should know, certain signs and symptoms that women should look for during their basic annual checkup, because a checkup should be general, should be thorough. It's not so much for the breast, it should be for the whole body.
Right.
Even we were discussing the eyesight,
Yes.
the health of your eyes, the health of your mouth, everywhere. So to get a clean bill of health every year.
Absolutely. Your mouth, your mind, your health, your eyes,
Everything.
everything. Right.
It's like a total tune-up. It's a tune-up.
So if people want more information about EMG Health Communications and specifically your lecture series on October 26th right here in Queens Village at Anton's,
Queens Village.
where can they contact you?
They can contact us by email, because we're always on the computer.
Okay.
And that's emghlth at hotmail.com.
Okay. And also we can find you online
On-
with your website.
Yeah, www.emghealth, the whole word, .org.
And you're also on Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
And that's EMG Health on Facebook.
And the telephone number is 516-458-6517.
One more time with the phone number.
516-458-6517.
Okay.
Do call us, because we are interested in having a whole lot of people this year.
Yeah, and also people have breast health issues, women's health issues. They can call you.
Yes.
maybe-
Leave a message and we will call you back. We have nurses that work with us, social workers, and also educators.
Yeah, and also you guys go out and do education in the community.
Yes, we do.
So if you have a church or a not-for-profit organization that maybe you want to hold some sort of workshop on women's health, they can call you as well.
And we can organize a little mini seance, a mini conference.
Right.
And Dr. August, whenever time permits, is always open to reach out to those groups,
Yeah.
the group of women. So,
And I'm looking forward to the event on the 26th because of all the great information, but also, like you said, because I do get that one-on-one time with a whole team of doctors that I might not get well, I definitely
other
wouldn't get
times.
in a doctor's
Right.
office, just because of the time constraint. And, it's a great way to socialize with them as well. Ask them those
Absolutely.
follow-up questions, maybe about your aunts or your mom or your sisters or your wife. Yeah. Ask them questions for other people in your family as well.
Exactly. So this is important. This is a good opportunity for you to be there and to know who is in the community, who has the best stars. But all of the doctors that have come for the past 14 years, this is our 14th annual, they are the best physicians. They have been in the field. They are well knowledgeable. They are always getting the continuing education themselves to provide us with the most updated information.
Okay. Well, Elsy, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Corner. Always great to have you here, whether we're talking about breast health or women's health or politics in Haiti or whatever we're talking about.
I am there.
Always great to see you here.
Thank
Final
you.
thoughts for our audience on EMG health communications, why health is so important in a woman's
Oh, health
life.
is important. Health is important. Mental health as well as physical health, because we do need to be healthy and capable of overcoming a lot of stress in our life. I mean, this is our life it's a stressful entity already. So we need to ensure that we have the proper learning, we have the proper information and also the resources, the references whenever something will go wrong to be able to tackle that. And if not, call us. We will also guide you in finding the right programs, free programs, and then the doctors, the most expensive doctors, the top-notch doctors. We have this information, and we will hope that you will reach out to us, and we will serve you accordingly.
Okay. Elsy, thank you so much for joining me on
you.
Communication Corner. For more information about EMG Health Communications, you can always go to their website, emghealth.org.
Correct.
You can email Elsy. Give us that email address one more time.
emghlth@hotmail.com.
Great. And you can also find them on Facebook, too. The event is Sunday, October 26, 2014, right here in Queens, at Anton's in Queens Village. Hopefully you can come out to the lecture on women's health that day by EMG Health Communications. Thanks so much for watching Communication Corner. As always, guys, I'm Gail Lewis. You can always email me, newday2010@yahoo.com. Hit me up on Facebook at Communication Corner. Or, of course, check out my website, gail-lewis.com. Thanks so much to Elsy Mecklembourg Guibert and EMG Health Communications for joining us today on Communication Corner. And most importantly, thank you for watching. My name's Gail Lewis. This has been Communication Corner. Thanks for watching, and good night. Take care, everybody.